such an asshole.
Good morning, all. AssholeConsulting.com. If you have questions, Cappy's got answers, and apparently all I got to do is your Google searching for you. Cappy, recently my mother moved a lot of money that had been in the 401k and a couple other smaller accounts into a couple of different annuities, and I'm trying to understand more about it. Okay, already this sounds painful. I presume your mom's older, obviously facing what's the 401k for then? Why is she switching? Why is she doing this? Did the salesman get in her little fucking bird brain here? Oh my god. Again, Beaker. They all turn into Beaker. And why different annuities? What do you like having multiple accounts and usernames and passwords? I'm not criticizing you, sir. This is one of two things it is with people in your life. You are either a tyrant with them. The conditions by which I associate with you and help you out are under these strict conditions. And if you violate them, go fuck yourself. Or a very hands-off libertarian, go fuck yourself. I don't care. It's your problem. I am so happy I had the I'll leave you in a ditch conversation with my parents. At beforehand, it was in part philosophy, in part like, hey, I don't have the money to help you. But now I'm so happy I had that conversation. You got to manage every fuckwit in your life. Everyone is a fuckwit. From the little I know about them, yeah, because you didn't Google search them. The variable annuities seem a bit risky, and the fixed annuities seem to be very stable. The annuities she bought are fixed indexed annuities. Are these really better than standard fixed annuities or variable annuities? It depends what your investment goals are. What are your thoughts on annuities for long-term cash availability and potential growth? What are the pitfalls? What to look for when choosing an annuity? Isn't it moot by now? Your mom's already invested in them. I'm probably interested in videos. This information is available to everyone. All right. So I remember this. This has happened before on insurance products in general. That's what an annuity is. It's an insurance. And very, very, very generally speaking, it's not a coincidence they're offered by insurance company because an annuity is income insurance, right? You get car insurance in case there's an accident with your car. You get health insurance in case there's an accident with you. You get an annuity or income insurance in case there's a problem with your income. Typically when you're older, all right, that's all you're doing. And like all insurance products, all, okay? All. It is a losing, not necessarily a money-losing proposition. It is a losing proposition to you because the insurance companies need to make a profit. And why I say it's a losing proposition, not necessarily a money-losing proposition, is that let's do it again. Let's do this fucking again. The casinos in the desert in Nevada, okay? They weren't, God didn't come in and with his wonderful fart out the casinos in Las Vegas. They were built because the proposition of gambling at them was in this case, a money-losing one. It was a money-losing one. The casinos statistically are going to make a profit. Yes, there's a prospect you might win. You might win big, but over time and over enough gamblers, the house always wins. That's why they employ statisticians and actuaries. Okay. Insurance is the same thing. The insurance company wouldn't exist if it was a money-losing proposition to them. They would not have the buildings. They would not have the employees. They wouldn't have the computer equipment. So let's be very clear about what we're doing when we buy an insurance product. We are hedging and insuring. It's not an investment. We are insuring against a bad thing happening to us. And in the case of annuities, it is income insurance. It is hedging against the loss of income, or perhaps supplementing future income, right? But make no mistake about it, you giving them the money is a losing proposition because at work, okay, how do I phrase it? Statistically speaking, if you just throw your money into other investment products, you're statistically likely to come out ahead. Because all they're all they're gonna do, they take your they're just like a bank. They take your money, right? Like a bank. You deposit your money at the bank. They take your money. All right. And they pay you a modicum of interest, say 5% today. I don't know what interest rates are. They then take that money. What do they do with it? They invest it, right? And they borrow from you at 5, they lend out at 8. And there's a 3% profit margin of interest rate there. Okay. That's all the insurance company is doing. But instead of, like, say, a traditional little bank where they pay you 5% on your deposits, they take the money and lend it to Susie's Bobble Shop. The insurance company takes the money and they'll invest in the S&P 500 or a mutual fund or some stocks or a hedge fund. They might invest in real estate investment trusts, whatever. They go and they invest it somewhere else. They pay you, depending on whether it's fixed, variable, whatever, a certain amount of interest. And then they go and they try to get that amount of interest plus 5 to 10 or as much percent. And then let's say they promise you 5, they generate 10. Well, if it's a fixed interest, fixed annuity, you get your 5%. They keep the 5%. My question to you, why don't you just go invest in the index? And this is where I get kind of pissed off. Not at you. I get pissed off at the come on, baby, light my fires. It's time to get serious about retirement. When I was doing those financial classes, 58 years old, it's time to get serious about. It's almost like annuities are this, it's guaranteed income when you're older. Well, shit, you should have been planning for this 25 years ago. Now, when you say it's always like, is this a way I can get more money? And dude, let me tell you something. These insurance companies, they're fucking scum. The salesmen, the fees they charge on these products, holy fucking shit. You factor in, and again, it varies on the insurance company and the specific product at that. But generally speaking, the fee you pay on investing, tossing your money into the S&P 500 index at whatever, Fidelity or Vanguard, anyone of me, very small fees. They got to make money too, But these guys stab you. And another thing, generally speaking, I want you fucking actually, there's this one product offered by Fidelity. And shut the fuck up. Usually your money's locked up in these places for a while. You don't get a rate of return for the first couple of years with these annuities. It depends on the type and the company and the contract. Just saying. Right? And so my main concern about not just annuities, but all insurance products is, well, if it's statistically likely that I'd make more money just doing the investing myself, why the fuck would I give you the money? My favorite is the variable annuity, which we'll get to later. Well, see, you'll give us your money, fine young lady. Young lady, 58 years young. Am I right, Mrs. Jones? I have veneer teeth. And we'll invest it in the index fund for you. Okay. There's fixed index, hybrid. Let's go variable. We'll invest it in the market for you. And there'll be some guarantees along the way. And some fees we'll forget to mention there. Make it not in your favor whatsoever. Oh, wait, I'm on a fixed income, and I come on, baby, lighted my fire all the time and got 7 divorces and saved nothing. And now, Mr. Slick Salesman with the veneer teeth, you promise me fixed income so I don't have to work? Oh, that warms my boomer heart. He's investing. Variable means they just invest in, mutual funds, bonds, stocks. Why the fuck don't you just do that yourself, lady? Well, you had a 401k plan. Why do you just allocate it? Hell, just go open up a regular brokerage account and invest in the index funds yourself. You're at that point, you're paying an overpaid brokerage to take a ridiculous commission and lock your funds up for a while that you can't access. And there's gonna be payout issues down the road. I mean, but aside from well, we're gonna lock your money down for a while. We're not gonna pay you a rate of return for a couple of years. But then at the end, we have payout options. We're leaving it at the end of the day, they're just doing shit that you can do for yourself and taking a lot of the cream and the profits off of themselves because they're a for-profit company. When I'm saying, like, why don't you just do it yourself? That's the short version. Okay. Now, depends what you want. Are you really that worried about it? It's a risk question. It's a question to the individual. Is it worth sleeping more soundly at night? Is the comfort this is not a financial decision. This is a comfort and psychological decision. I get car insurance and health insurance, catastrophic insurance, so I don't have to worry about, okay, I get hit riding my motorcycle and I got a $50,000 medical bill. I don't have to worry about that. The insurance going to cover it. All right. So now it's a money losing proposition, right? Because the insurance company is going to charge me more than what it's likely to pay out. Otherwise, it wouldn't exist. The casinos wouldn't poof in the desert. But I'm not buying it for a financial reason. I'm buying it for peace of mind. I'm buying it for stability. Right. And if that is the reason and the cause, okay, maybe annuities are for you. But by God, if you just do a little bit of planning up front and don't postpone saving for retirement to when you're 58, but start when you're 28, you don't have to worry about these insurance products. You know, if you all just stop spending money you don't need to spend money on and invest it in compound interest, you should have enough money. You can buy insurance policies, like, okay, catastrophic or whatever else, or supplemental. But man, these finance, well, I guess they are finance companies, these insurance companies, man, they're fucking scum, generally speaking. So I'm not a fan of annuities. I'm not, because in general, it's like a casino. It's not a money losing proposition, but it's a losing proposition. You can make money, but if you took that same money and threw it in the same investments they made, you would have made more. All right, we understand now. Generally, the financial flows of annuities and insurance. All right, moving on. So, because you didn't want to do Google, I had to. And the reason that this is funny, I don't remember what I know what an annuity is a fixed series of payments. I mean, that's the literal definitions at some point in time in the future. Annu meaning annual. I don't know what that means. I don't know. And like other things where I'm like, oh, that's a fucking money losing proposition right there. Like, that's bullshit. I don't want that product. I forgot about it. We're talking 30 years ago when I went to college. I'm like, well, that's bullshit. I'm not going to. Like, duration of bonds. Fucking never learned that shit. We had a shitty professor, by the way. Carlson School of Management. I gotta remember duration of bonds. When the fuck am I going to use this? Really fucking important. You'll be at the trading bond. You'll be at the trading desk for bonds someday. So I had to refresh my memory beyond what generally an annuity is and what the insurance flows. And so let's go through the three types you listed here. You have your fixed annuity. All right. Uh, it's basically a savings account. That's all it is. You are paid a fixed rate of interest. All right. And your principal is guaranteed. Sounds similar to a savings account? It does. Well, then why don't you get a fucking savings account then, or a CD? So you pay in, right? However many years based on the contract. Okay. It's just generally, here are the cash flows. How long you pay in, how long you pay out. That's defined later. Right. But you pay in or you fund in one lump sum, however it's set up. But generally, you give them the money. They give you a guaranteed rate of interest. I looked them up. Let me look. Fixed rates for 8 years, 5.35, 9 years, 4.8, 10 years, 6.6, 2 years, 5.25, Let's see what CD rates are. CD rates. It looks like they're about the same. 4.7 for 1 year, 4.8 for 9 months, 5.15. What the hell? It's the same as a CD. Why would you look? Not to mention it's overly complicated with paperwork and all that. So you fixed the annuity, you pay in the money. As long as your money sits in there, they pay you a fixed interest rate. Generally, it goes into your account. Generally, you can't withdraw for 3 years. Again, depends on how they structure this, but generally, it's kind of like a CD. You're not allowed to withdraw without some kind of fee. But if I read it correctly, for 3 years, you don't even accrue a rate of return. Like that just goes to them. And then after 3 years, you start to get some kind of fixed rate of return. Then you have your money at the end of the annuity term. Like, okay, you're going to contribute for X number of years, or after X number of years, you are allowed to start withdrawing. Okay, we're going to get to the withdrawals later. But your principal is guaranteed, much like it would be at a bank through the FDIC. And that's about it. Oh, and by the way, you pay a shit ton of fees. So basically, you have a savings account. You give them a certain amount of money, either upfront or over a number of years or over a number of months. That money goes into an account. That account has a guaranteed rate of return. It does not accrue interest, or it does accrue interest. They take the money, they go invest it, whatever things, just like a bank would. They make their 5-10%. First couple of years, they don't pay you anything. And then the next couple of years, depending on how long it is again, they contribute the amount to your fund at about a 5 to 6% rate of return. Like the 10-year one, it just sits there for 10 years. And then at the end of 10 years, you're now allowed to withdraw. You can withdraw a lump sum. There's different payout options they give you at the end of the day, but that's it. Okay. It's an overly complicated savings account or CD with high fees. Again, behooving the question, why the fuck not just go get a CD? All right. So there's one. Right. Then you get the fixed indexed annuity. All right. This is a little bit of a variation of it. They take your money, right? Same thing as before. Maybe you contribute every year. Maybe it's a lump sum. Depends on the contract. You give them the money. They go and they invest it in the market, index funds typically. Okay. Could be index bonds, index sides, just some kind of index, some kind of investment. And here's where the hybrid comes in. Let's say they make a 10% rate of return. Oh, by the way, same thing. You're probably not going to get any returns for a certain number of years. And after year 3 or 5, or it depends on how they write it up. Oh, okay. And our fees, by the way, don't forget our fees. Now we'll pay you the money. But we don't get all of it. This is a hybrid type of annuity. We made 10%. You get 5%. You get half the rate of return. Or 60%. I don't know. It depends on how they have it set. But you basically split the rates of return, the profits you made that year. The insurance company takes some, and you get the rest. What that division is, I don't know. It depends on the life insurance company and the annuity. But there you get, okay. And I believe, let me think here, principal never goes down. Okay, your principal is guaranteed. So kind of, again, a little bit of an insurance product there. Give us your money, Grandma Tilly. We'll invest it for you. And in 3 years, we'll start paying you some dividends, which is a percentage of the rate of return we're getting in the market. But if there's a loss, your principal don't go down. So kind of funny, let's say 4 or 5 years, you start making some money, it adds to the account. Then there's a bad day or a bad year in the stock. They just take all the profits away. Oh, by the way, did I mention inflation? Denzel Washington laughed. Ha ha ha. Oh, inflation. Um, so you get a little bit of an upside for account growth more than a fixed interest rate without having to worry about your principal going down. All right. Oh, by the way, did I mention the fees? They got some fees with that too. So for me, I'd be like, okay, to show you there's alternative products in the market. I I want some I want some guaranteed income, right? But I would also like to have some exposure to the market, which is what this fixed index annuity is. I have a question. Yes, sir. You in the back. Why don't I just take my 401k and throw half of it into, like, say, US government treasuries guaranteed rate of return. All right. So I get my fixed income there. And I throw the other half into the S&P 500 index. Wouldn't that more or less achieve the same thing without the fees and the ridiculous lockdown and when I can withdraw on it? And not to mention the paperwork and all. Yes, sir. That would work too. So there's that there. And then there's the variable annuity, and that's just where we'll invest it in the index, or well, the index, whatever it is you want for you. We're going to take a little bit of money off of the top, but generally you're fully exposed. Again, depends on how it's written. And yeah, here you can lose your principal, but you have the upside of capital gains, rates of return. Oh, by the way, there's some fees. And then I'd ask, where the fuck do you just invested in the 401k or the IRA? Now, is there an insurance company out there that has reasonable fees and provides you an annuity and maybe it doesn't stab you in the back? Sure, it might be. I don't know. I'm not going to go out there and look. But it's an overly complicated way to achieve investment objectives, whatever they might be, that are much easier and out there in the investing world. Now, let's talk about the payout, because here's is where the annuity differentiates itself from, say, a 401k or an IRA or traditional brokerage account, and might actually offer you some of that insurance value. This is the payout part, okay? The payout can basically be one of three things. It can be a lump sum. Okay, Tilly, it's been 10 years. Your annuities accrued interest at 5%, though inflation was 12, President Kamala. Here's your, 70% of purchasing power you originally invested with us. So you get the lump sum. Hopefully it kept up with inflation, whether or not it was a variable, a fixed index, or a fixed. Whatever the annuity is, a payout option might be one of them, a lump sum, depending on how the annuity is written. So it's the end of the 5 or 10-year contract, you get your money, and now you get to go and spend it however you see fit. There is fixed annual payouts for a fixed number of years. This is more of an insurance type of aspect, where, depending on how the annuity is written, Grandma Tilly, come on, baby, lighted her fire. She religiously contributed the money she should. It went into whichever annuity it was, and she selected the annual payout option. Cappy, how many years does it pay out? Depends on the annuity. It could pay out 5. It could pay out 10. I don't know if it pay out 20. That's an awfully long actuarial estimate. All right, but you get this amount of money for this many years in the payout, and that's more of the guaranteed income type of thing. So, and there might be a practical use from an insurance perspective where, you're 65 now, you're going to contribute for 10 years, put you at 75, and then it pays out 10 years from 75 to 85. Might be too old to work, might be losing your mental faculties. You might stand in the wrong line and not wait till you get up to, "Oh, what do I want to order now?" You know what happens to old people? I just decided to stop in the middle of the busiest aisle in all of Walmart and talk to my other boomer friend. Where am I? Those people aren't exactly going to be pulling down $250,000 as president and CEO at a functional level. So you might want to have some guaranteed income. And that carries you to 85, at which point in time you're presumably going to die. I haven't even investigated what happens to the money. I mean, they damn well might keep the fucking money for all I know, where there's like a residual amount. I think that was, what was it? Was that whole life insurance? I think in some instances, The balance goes to the insurance company. It's not paid out to your heirs. That's another thing for you to look up for, my fine sir. Um, but functionally, okay, fine. You got yourself some guaranteed income for 10 years and provide some stability. I could see that. And then there's the lifetime payout. Like it just pays you out until you're dead. And you say, "Ooh, that sounds good." And yeah, if you threw enough money into it, sure. But they're not again, they need to make money. And they got their actuarial tables and they'll say, "Yeah, so here's your $300 a month, but I contributed $1,000 a month." Yeah, but you're withdrawing at 70 and you might live to 90. So sure, you get a lifetime payout, but the amount goes down per month you get paid out. So that then also further defines the annuity and is the insurance product of it. I, now, if you're really risk averse, and you really are worried about that, might be something for you. But it's a financial. I shouldn't say money losing. It's a financially losing proposition. And I think it would be a lot easier if people just saved their fucking money and contributed to 401k and IRA early so that when you're 65 or 70, you're not like, oh, magic number man with veneer teeth, sell me product guaranteed income. Like you wouldn't have this problem if you're sitting on 1.5 million that you've saved religiously over time. And and I don't know, maybe you work till you're 75 because you got nothing else to do. Maybe it's good for you to work a little bit, even if it's part-time. Kick that retirement, and then all you gotta do is make it another 10 years off of 1.2 million. And you don't have to worry about this shit. And so, yeah, so let's did I explain it? Did I explain it now? We all understand annuities a little bit better? Again, it's always gonna vary on the type and how it's structured and the particular product, but do we understand the statistics? And at the end of the day, chances are, though no guarantee, results may vary. It is much better to start saving up traditionally in a 401k or an IRA so that you're not stuck at 68 years old evaluating whether now's your time to contribute to an annuity. What are you here? Where are I got something? And ARP sent out the newsletter. It's my favorite magazine. It's called Aisles. They show us all the aisles in America where we should sit and congregate and block it so other young people can't get on with their lives. So there we go. Now, let me get on the phone. What are your thoughts on annuities for long-term cash availability and potential growth? In general, I think there are much better products on the financial marketplace that allow you to have access to your cash with upside potential. What are the pitfalls? Well, the pitfalls is that it's upfront, it's a losing proposition. Also, that your money's locked down in the fees. Those are the biggest pitfalls, at least as far as all my research showed me with annuities, is the fucking fees. What to look for if choosing an annuity? Fees? I mean, look for something else. Look for a cheaper alternative product that achieves what you want. All right? Like I just shopped around. Do you want to go and sign up for life with this whatever Horkwitz life insurance and here's your 6% sir when the bank down the road is paying 5.75 for something where you just like, can you transfer? Yeah, here it is. It's done. And there's no capital controls. Like if you need to, you can go get your CD money. You might have to pay a little bit of a fee, but it's not like, oh no, it's locked down for 3 years. You can't. Probably interested in there. Yeah, I'm not a fan of annuities. I am not a fan of annuities. And only in exceptionally rare cases where people got, if you're in the market for an insurance plan, the stars are all aligning fine. But I'd like to think that my audience is not going to let themselves get to that position. Look, if you're let's say you're an old person. Stop standing in the aisles, okay? Why don't you just go work a part-time job if you can? Just work a part-time job, bring in a little bit of income, right? Do it for a couple of years. It's gonna be good for your brain, good for your mind. Everyone says, "What kind of business should I start?" You should work a second job. That's the best type of business for you to start, is working a second job because it brings in money right away, and most side hustles don't make money because everyone keeps choosing side hustles that aren't work, that aren't hard, that don't require hustles, just fun. "Oh my god, I'm gonna be a SoundCloud rapper. I'm gonna be an influencer." So go work a bartending job. Go be the greeter at Walmart. Make a little bit of money, all right? See if you can live off of that. And every year you get closer to death, which sounds macabre, but it's true. That's one less year you got to be withdrawing. Like, one of the best things you can do as an older person to supplement and make sure you got enough money for retirement is to keep working, because you generate more money, and that's 1 year less that you have to withdraw on your paltry saved up sums. All right. Let's go to super chats. Michael Van Denberg, 5 Canadian. South Africa changed the law, locked my annuity for 3 years before I could get it out after immigration. Wish I had Cappy to smack me back then. Locked my annuity for 3 years before I could get it out after immigration. Well, yeah, I'm surprised. That's usually, based on my research, it looks like your money is locked up for 3 years. They want that because they need the money. Like, hedge funds are like this too. No, you don't get access to this money. We need it for a while, for a long term, for whatever our investment to pay off. And we don't want to be sitting there calling you like having you call us every month. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? It's like, no, we got it for 3 years. So I'm kind of surprised that that wasn't a law already in South Africa. Oh, but yeah, that's typical capital controls. How dare you not work to pay for everyone over in South Africa that doesn't work? How dare you, sir? Pocket watching with JT, $5. Yes, insurance products are trash investments, and the agents that sell them are as good investments as grifters. Yes. It and look, if you're I don't even begrudge the insurance companies. You are okay. It has to be a money-losing proposition for insurance to even be offered, right? Because the insurance company must make money, and I'm fine with that. You need to pay your employees, you need to pay your analysts and your investors, you need to pay everyone in the right. I understand it's a money-making operation. It's when there's much better products out there, or you charge such egregious fees, uh, for my that's what get but it's up to the individual. Like, look, I don't care if it costs me that much. You're fully disclosed on the fees, but I get this fixed amount of income. Fine, I want it. Okay, there you go. I just think self-insuring, where you save up your own money, a perfect book would be Early Retirement Extreme by Jacob Lund Fisker. That's all it essentially. Retirement is just a big old insurance thing. That's all it is. I need to save up a certain amount of money so that I have enough money that if I can't work or no longer wish to work, I have enough money to last me. That's insurance. You're just doing it. Retirement planning is you self-insuring. It's just a lot easier for you to say, well, yeah, the chances of me living past 90 are very low. And I do some basic math, which you should have been taught in the 4th or 5th grade, but modern day teachers and Jimmy's got a learning disability and no, he's just got shitty parents. So he's got shitty parents and shitty teachers. uh, you should be able to do some man. There's online calculators. Like, I plan to retire at this time, and I plan to live until then. How much money do you does it for you? Now go find and contribute. Like, how much do I need to save each month to contribute in with a rate of return? It's all there on the internet for you. But if you want some brass tacks, the cheapest way possible, Early Retirement Extreme with Jacob Lund Fisker. Ken Rose, $10 might be controversial saying this, but if it wasn't for private insurance, law, and welfare government America, healthcare would be much more affordable. Well, yeah. Okay. Any system you flood with money, the products that system is selling or providing becomes more expensive. Classic case. Tuition is too high. We need to have government loans on the order of $600 billion a year be lent to kids so that they could go buy credits at college. I have a question. Yes, you Beck. What if we stop flooding the higher education market with $600 billion in government loans a year? It's I'm no economist, but if you had the higher educate colleges and universities in the United States, what if there were no student loans? What if there were no scholarships? I know it sounds horrible. Like, well, wait, I know some kids earned it. But just saying, imagine this. What if you just deprived colleges and universities of student loans and scholarships and everyone kind of had to pay cash? What would happen? Oh, I wonder if tuition would go down. The irony of the left is they say the solution to all the one solution to all the problems is more money, and all you do is drive up prices. What it should be is like, no, stop giving them money, stop giving Medicare, Medicaid. What you think hospitals don't see whatever Medicaid, Medicare, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, whatever, say shit, let's just add another zero to that bill. I what it would be a quick but yet to be seen how good of it'd be worth an experiment. What if we were just you had to pay cash? You had to pay cash. There's no insurance anymore. There's no government money. Your medical clients, your patients are only allowed to pay cash, and they got to go and scrounge up the money, whether they borrow it from other people, whatever. But we're the government. We're not spending literally more hundreds of billions. What if that just all went away? I wonder what would happen to health prices. But my 98 IQ brain with masters in health administration not understand economics. Why you hate black people? Ken Rose, $2. Same for auto and property insurance. Yeah, it insurance is a money losing proposition, but you're not buying investments. You're buying insurance, unless it's American Family Insurance, in which case they may or may not insure you. And if you need, if heaven help you if you're in actual crisis, you got American Family Insurance. Because here's what they really ought to do with American Family Insurance. They should just give you pliers. They say, why pliers? So you could pull their teeth to get them to make the payout. There you go. All right. Link below, Bachelor Economics, the financial advice Bible for men. Don't be in the position you got to think about getting an annuity. Please do your retirement planning intelligently beforehand. We'll see you guys later, Toodles.